Welcome everyone to IDTechVlog. My name is Neil, and in this video blog, I'm going to be reviewing devices for K-12 schools. Today we're going to be talking about TVs. Let's get started. In terms of budget, televisions range from all across the board. The good news is that in the classroom, there isn't a need for a fancy TV. Most likely what you'll need is a television with 720 or 1080p resolution and an HDMI input. We'll discuss this more later when I talk about the usability. Because there are so many options, you could simply look for the cheapest brand name TV with the minimum requirements. You may want to consider also what TV size is most appropriate for your classroom, which in turn will affect the cost. There are various options for education pricing on TVs, which are also called displays. To find out about education pricing, you may have to inquire with the company directly. I'll provide a link below in the description to an example of one. Now that we're done with the budget, let's talk about the usability. First off, televisions are one of the most universal ways to present in a classroom. Because TVs nowadays use HDMI, they're able to connect to most devices. Laptops and Apple TVs are just a couple of examples of devices that you can connect to a television. Just make sure that whatever device you plan on connecting it to does have an HDMI input. If you plan on presenting information or having students watch videos, televisions would be a great way to do so. For example, if you want your class to watch a video from your laptop, you can connect your laptop to a TV using an HDMI cable. Some devices even allow you to mirror your computer without having a wire attached to your laptop. This can be especially useful for presentations or learning activities like quiz show games. TVs are also user-friendly because you won't need to use much more than the volume control, the input button, or plugging in an HDMI to one of your devices. Your school's IT staff will most likely be able to help you out with anything more complicated. The other big competitor for education displays is the smartboard. Generally speaking, smartboards are like interactive chalkboards. They're different from TVs because they have a touch interface just like tablets do. They can be more interactive than TVs, but the price tag tends to be a lot steeper. Because of the major price difference, TVs would be more cost-effective. When considering TVs for your classroom, you should determine if you believe that a TV will work for most of your learning activities. You should also consider what other devices would be connected to a TV. If budget is a concern, you will also need to consider the minimum requirements and the size versus the cost to determine what TV would be acceptable for your classroom. Because there are so many options, you will need to do your homework on finding a cost-effective TV. One of the most important things to consider is if the school believes that the device will justify the cost. By this I mean, what's the return value on the student's education? Will these devices really motivate and facilitate learning? Now that I've given you some things to think about, further explore and see if TVs are the device for your school. This is IDTechVlog. See you next time.